most important thing to do right now is getting an unconditional offer. For foundation students, I'm aware that they've gotten their results. I believe they've gotten their results. So by now we should be sending out the results to their firm choice as well as their insurance choice. I strongly advise that universities just so that you can have both unconditional offer and then finally decide where you're going to. For students who maybe for one reason or the other do not meet their requirements for the condition that the offer they've been given. So let's say the university needed a 70% and the student got like a 60 or 63. We also need to look at other options for them. Does the insurance, do they accept that percentage, or do we need to look at clearing for the student? So that will be the position for such students. But for students who have gotten their offers and they have met the condition, the academic condition of the offer, the most important thing to do right now is to send the documents to the university. Now, there are two ways to send the document to the university. Most students would have gotten applicant portal for the university that they applied to. So the university would have reached out to them to probably just create username and password for their applicant portal. On this portal, students are able to upload their documents directly. That's option one. Option two is if this is not available, you can also send it to us. I've been trying to reach out to students on the group that we created, and for all the students that have reached out to me personally, I've either uploaded their documents or sent the document to the university. But I also want us to understand that this is a very busy period for the universities, and they are working round the clock to ensure that unconditional offers are issued. We as an agent, as a representative of these universities, we could have a way to tell them to prioritize our students. But at the same time, some things just need to take their course. If I send my document today, I'm not expecting them to issue an unconditional offer in the next 24 hours because I understand that thousands of students have also sent their documents. So they are working around the clock. They've assured us that they are working around the clock to ensure that students get their unconditional offer. Some universities condition also have to is connected to student paying deposits. So students who have met the requirements and they've confirmed that this is their firm choice, they really want to go to this university, and they've met the requirements. They should just go ahead, make deposit payments as required by the university, send their documents so that we can start the process for the CAS. So sorry, I thought I would be able to share my screen, but I'm unable to do the presentation. So I'll just talk. Okay. So payment of deposits is very you to make a deposit, whether 50%, whether 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, as stated on the offer letter. So all student offer letter includes how much they're expected to pay. If there's anybody that is not clear about the deposit requirements, please do let me know. So after the deposit is paid, confirmation receipts should be sent over to the university to confirm that the payment has been made. And then sometimes it reflects on the portal. Sometimes you just get an email to say your payment has been received. Then once the payment has been received, unconditional offer has been issued, the next thing is CAS preparation. CAS is confirmation of acceptance of studies. And this is a document issued by the university that allows the student to apply for the student's visa. It's an important document that is issued by the university. Now, to get a CAS, what most universities cash shield enroll. I believe that some students have their hands on it. So they will just tell them, oh, welcome to Cash Shield. Create your password. Then they would need to confirm their details, upload their bank statements, upload their TB or whatever it is that they need to upload. So the CAS team will look into all these documents that have been uploaded and then confirm that is okay, then issue the CAS. In some other situation, they don't even need all of these things. They don't need to send documents or anything. Once they get an unconditional offer and payment has been made, they just maybe send a draft CAS and say, oh, check that all your details are correct. And then they issue the CAS immediately. Once the CAS is approved, the next thing will be to prepare for visa. Now, before visa is prepared for, there are documents that we need to apply for visa. For most students that I have applied for on this platform, they are either maybe some months to 18, or most of them are under 18 and some are over 18. So if there is a child that is over 18, that is under 18, the university would have written to or maybe sent request for underage consent form, which should have been completed by parents by now. Then another important document is the financial documents. So for financial documents, the UKBI has like required um, um, amounts that they need for every student to have in their account. And these amounts must be in their account for a period of 28 consecutive days. It must not drop below what they need. You can have more transactions, you can make deposits, you can withdraw, but it must not drop beyond the required amounts. So what's the required amount? So there's a maintenance fee that's been calculated by UKVI. And this maintenance fee is based on location. So students who are living in London, who are studying in London, it's expected that they will they will need up to £13,761 for the period of 9 months. So this amount plus tuition balance. So if tuition fee is £20,000, for instance, and the university has requested I pay 3,000, so you are left with 17,000, and the student is going to a university in London. So we add 17,000 plus 13,000. 761. So that would be like 30,761. And if you are saving in Naira, I would advise that you add additional £1,000 just to cover any fluctuation in currency exchange rates. The UKVI has a standard rate that they use, and the rate is Rwanda currency converter rate. So we need to check that. Now, for students outside London, their maintenance fee is £10,539. The same thing applies. £10,539 plus the tuition balance. Like I said, this amount must be in the account for a period of 28 days. Company account is not usually acceptable. Most universities wouldn't even accept it because there are times that the company is not owned by one person and all of those things. So it just brings a lot of complications. So personal account is required, but it doesn't have to be like a regular bank account. It can be a fixed deposit account. If you have a you fixed an amount in your account and it creates to what we are looking for, and it has been in the account for more than 28 days and it's still in the account as at that time, then it can be used. But there is a clause to that. It has to have the fixed deposit letter certificate must have a sentence that say that the money or the fixed amount can be easily liquidated at any point in time. That is, they want to be sure that you can access that money at any point in time. Now, this bank statement would also be presented for visa application. Then a TB test as well. I'd sent the link to the group for booking TB. There are centers in on the centers, or there's one center in Ikeja as well. Now, I believe that most students will be using their parents' accounts. So if any student is using their parents' account, we also need their birth certificate as well as a letter, a consent letter that says that they are consenting to the student or their child using their bank statement. Treasury bill account is not acceptable, but there is a fixed deposit account that is acceptable. So for anybody that has like maybe mutual fund accounts, that is also acceptable, provided there is that clause that says that the money is easily accessible. TB tests usually cost around 135,000 naira based on where you're doing it and the exchange rate as at the time. Now, so when CAS is received, after all these requirements are being fulfilled and the CAS is received, then the next thing will be for us to apply for visa. For visa application, the form will be completed online and payments will be required. That's two important payments or the two mandatory payments. The first one is the visa fee, which currently is around $780. That's like the last I paid, but it kind of fluctuates because it's originally in pounds, so they convert it to dollars. So it really depends on what the rate is at the time you're paying. Then the IHSP. Now, IHSP is calculated based on the duration of study. So if a student is doing 1 year, they get to pay like 1,620 dollars. If it's 2 years, it's about 2,200 and something dollars. If it's 3 years, it's 3,000 plus. Really depends on what how it depends on the duration of study. Now, someone within 3 years can pay $3,000. Another person is doing 3 years can pay $3,500. The reason can be that the course end date and start date. So if your course start date is September 1st, 2026, and it ends September 1st, 2029, that's 3 years. You can pay the 3,000. But there are some universities that will say, okay, the end date is like November. So if it has that like 2 months additional, then they can pay more. It's calculated on the system. As soon as you put your start date, the end dates, it just automatically calculates how much you need to pay. And that's the first payment. And after that, you pay the visa application fee. Then the next thing would be to book appointments for biometrics. So as many that are used to UK visa application, before now, you would originally just go for your biometrics and submit your passport. But what is happening now is e-visa. So students do not need to submit their passports. They just do their biometrics. Appointment booking. Because we're already at the peak period and everybody, WAEC will be out by next 2 weeks, A-level will be out. So there will be a lot of students applying for visa. So you might need to pay for appointment booking. So if you want to get a date, like a very close date, like tomorrow, next tomorrow, the day after, then you have to pay certain amount. There are two services that will allow you, or three services that will allow you to pay to get this close date. And the first one is a prime time appointment, which is £89. Then there is premium lounge where the students get to have like a VIP treatment. That one is £84. And then there's flexi appointments. That one too is around 80, I think it's £89. I've not been doing that, but premium lounge and prime time is like the most common one for those appointments. But if you don't want to pay, it means that you're waiting till like the following week, like 6 days after, to be able to go for your appointment, and then that one is free. Now, another fee that you are paying is if you are choosing VI Center, you get to pay £74 extra for choosing VI Center. But if you are doing Ikeja, it's totally free, no additional fee. But you still have to pay that prime time or premium lounge if you are doing that service. Then also, because it's already getting to peak period, some students may need to apply for priority service or super priority service. Priority service is an additional £500, which helps visa decision to come out within 5 to 7 working days. But super priority visa takes about just 48 hours, 48 to 72 hours. All things being equal, if they don't want to query anything, then the students can even get the results the next day. So this super priority service is an additional £1,000 for students to pay. But if there's still time, if you think there's still time for your child and this thing, you may not pay for that service. I strongly advise that students should pay for this service at this time. So once the appointment and the biometrics is done, you've submitted your fingerprints and or uploaded. So you can upload your document online, but if you also want to go to the center to get it uploaded, that comes with a fee. And then we'll wait for visa decision to be out. Once you submit the application, once the child submits an application, please keep an eye on the email so that in case there's anything, the UKVI will reach out to the email. And if they want to request for any more documents, they will do that via the email. And they usually give like a grace of 10 working days to respond back to them. If there is no response, then they can refuse the student visa. Now, any bank statement that is approved by a university, if a university has approved your bank statement and they say it's good to go, please, at that point, you don't think, oh, I've submitted my bank statement, I can remove my money. No, you don't remove money until the visa is out, until the visa is out. I don't advise that you, because UKVI can come back at any point in time. I say, please, we need an updated bank statement. And by then, if you had removed the money, it will not be sufficient again. When I say remove, let's say that you need 50 million and then you have taken 1 million from it. So it's 49 million. Now, if it's shortfall of 1 naira, UKVI can refuse based on that 1 naira. So you don't even want to. That's why I said we should have more than the required amount, just in case there's any fluctuation. They are not holding back 1 naira and they are rushing. What do I do? What do I do? But in the case that happens, let's say that currently you have like 40 million naira and you need 50 million naira, and you've paid £2,000 that is required by the university, and you don't have any other way to provide the remaining 10 million naira, but you have it like it is not the remaining 10 million naira is not up to 28 days rather in your accounts, but you really want to submit the visa application. The best thing to do in that situation is to just pay that 10 million naira into the university's account. So the university will reflect that, oh, this person has paid maybe £8,000, and then the amount required to show in the account would be the exact 40 million naira that you need. Yeah, so once the visa is successful, an email will be received by the applicant's email, and they'll be notified that their email is successful. Then the last phase will now be to get your e-visa. There is I've prepared some documents on how students can get their e-visa, and I'll be sharing that to the link as soon as we start visa application. So the e-visa is just a process. You just create an account, you give it to UKVI account, and you can get it all sorted. Now, when you go for biometrics, some people outside may tell you to pay 30,000 for them to create the account. Trust me, it's a seamless process. It's something you can do on your own. So if you don't mind, I believe you can do it on your own. Then yes, when visa is out, book your flights and ensure that students enrolls on time. Ensure that they go for their enrollment, because even if they are in the UK and they do not go to their university to enroll, then they are not in the UK yet. Ensure that they have enrolled. Then yeah, so that's enrollment settles it. Then accommodation, if you want your child to stay in the school accommodation, I believe that by now you can apply for hostel accommodation, apply. Some may give you a grace that, okay, maybe until you get your results so that you are sure where you are going to. Some may say, okay, just pay £200 just so that they are sure that you are committed to coming to their hostel. So accommodation is also as important as even getting visa as well. So yes, I think that is it from me. So the floor is open. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Thank you. Sabodun, are you there?
Yes, Ms. Christiana, thank you very much for the presentation. So, dear parents, if you have any questions specific to your child, university application or visa application, please, you have the mic now. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ms. Christiana, and thank you very much for the presentation. I did not get you when you were talking about the date, because now it looks like we have to be working with time. So what time does the results get released? Do the schools get the results before it gets released? And now I'm talking about the A levels, because if it's from that time that we start to count down on all the activities. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir, for the question. The A-level result is usually released second week in August. So 12th, 13th of August, we expect the result to be released. And as soon as it is released, schools will start receiving a copy. Will have access to the results. So immediately the result is released, we will have access to it. But that's sometime in second week in August. Thank you very much.
Okay. However, it gets released on like second week, but I believe that by now, please let's just start the bank statement, ensure that the bank statement is counting already, so that at least by then it's not then that you start counting the 28 days. Because if you start by then you may not be able to meet up with enrollment.
Thank you. That's well noted.
Thank you, sir.
So parents, you are free to ask your questions. This meeting is planned for an hour. So you can ask your questions or make your necessary clarification. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Sumi. Yes, please. I just joined because I joined the other the Zoom that was posted on the platform. I didn't know that there's another Zoom going on. So I'm just joining now. So I don't know if I can get a recap.
That would be very long. I don't know. Is this? I'm not sure if this is recorded.
Ms. Christiana, hold on, please. Maybe after this.
There was another one posted on the platform. That's when I was just waiting there. There was nobody talking. I had to exit myself and went back to the to the platform again. I realized that there's another link. So I just joined just 5 minutes ago. And I've been on the other link for about 20 minutes.
First and the second, and it's the same link, man. However, I believe Ms. Christiana Way, and this meeting is being recorded.
Yes, ma'am.
It's being recorded, so it will be sent to all parents on the platform.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Isekwena has her hand raised, so let's have a question.
Okay, hello, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Boduri. Good morning, Miss Christiana. Good morning, everyone. Okay, my question is for those of us that the initial application was done without year in work experience, because I'm saying now that we are getting into clearing and talking to the school, can that be effected immediately before the offer is made unconditional?
Yes, ma'am. So the only thing that just needs to be done is just send an email to the university to confirm It's just to send an email to the university to let them know that you're interested in the year in the industry, and that's all.
Okay. Okay. Other than that, also now for this 28 days bank statement thing, for instance, one of the school we applied is now saying what they asked was okay, is it up to 60 days and all of that, the funds in the account. So, but does that, hope that doesn't affect the visa application, because we know that the visa application states, you know, the money should have been there for 28 days.
Okay, so what they are, that's Enroll, that's cash shield, and that's just a generic question for cash shield. So
Oh,
even
okay.
if the money is not up to 60 days, but it's,
Oh,
it's
okay.
up to 28 days required, then you're good to go.
Yes. Okay. 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 Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man.
Is there any other questions for Ms. Christiana? We will wait for about 5 minutes. If no one is asking any question, we'll assume that
Yeah, I think okay. The other question I have, but which I think she has stated, but I don't know, maybe she to the general floor. If, for instance, the school requires you to meet a certain percentage of, let's say, 65, and then you know you have 63. What happens? You know, can the school decide to say, okay, we are good with this 63. It's okay, it's fine for us, and we'll consider it, and you know, give you the offer. So because I'm sure maybe there are some parents also who are in that shoe and might need clarification to that. Ms.
Okay.
Christian, are you there?
Yes.
Mm.
So with a 2% shortfall, some universities would actually still accept. They will still accept the students and just let it go. But some universities wouldn't even accept at all. So that decision is an admissions decision. So it's not something I can say, oh, don't worry, they will accept, and you send it and they say no. But maybe when you're sending it, you just send it out to say, okay, I understand that the student, I've done that already for a student. So you just say, I understand the student was meant to get a 65%, but has gotten a 63%. The student is committed to thriving in studies. Just put something to explain that, yes, I understand that there's a 2% shortfall, but I am confirming and I am assuring you that the students would do better when they get on the course. So if the course is not yet full, and if there are no, like if they don't have so many other students that have gotten like maybe 70 and all, they could actually accept the students. But there's a probability, a very high probability that they will accept it if it's just 2%. But I believe if it's getting to 5%, they may not.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Yeah.
I still have one more question. This is up again on the bank balance in terms of what the parent is expected to show and retain for 28 days. I just want clarity. Is it the tuition fee, 100% of the tuition fee for 1 year and 100% of the living costs for the entire year that should be in the account for 28 days?
Okay. Thank the maintenance fee for the first 9 months. The maintenance fee for the first 9 months, which is calculated as the 13,000 and the 10,000 I earlier mentioned, and then the tuition balance for the first year. So if the first year tuition is 22,000 and the university do not require us to pay any deposits, that means you're adding 22,000 plus the maintenance fee of the location the student is going to.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Hello,
Please, if you
please.
have any other question.
All right. Sorry, it's part of our online engagement rule. We request that every device be properly named. So Samsung, a device, Samsung SMF9, please let's know who you are. Thank you very much. Okay, the Executive Director, Mrs. Kende Phillips.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Wadri. Good morning, Ms. Christiana, and our esteemed parents and everyone that's here. And students, thank you for engaging this way. I want to ask Ms. Christiana to please give a hypothetical scenario of that breakdown you just did, money in the bank, living wages, whatever. Just give us a hypothetical, example so that people can understand better. Thank you.
Okay, ma. So if the child is going to University of Nottingham for the first 9 months is going to be 10,539. I'm taking that again, 10,539. Now, if the tuition fee is 27,000 and you have paid 5,000, so we are left with 22,000, right? Now, the maintenance fee, like I said, is 10,539. That's for the first 9 months. Now, this 22,000 is the balance of the first year tuition fee. So it means that if you maintain the required proof of fund would be 32,539. 32,539. That's 5,000 minus 27,000 plus the maintenance fee for outside London. So this 32,539 has to be in the account for a minimum of 28 days. Now, there's something I want to clarify as well. So if, for instance, the 32,539 is about, let's say 60 million or 61 million. Now, you now got the 61 million from someone or from your account, your business account, transferred to your personal account, and that lump sum shows in your account. Now, I would strongly advise that you don't print your statement from that day. I would say print the statement from the next day. So you start counting the next day. Why? The school or UKBF can come back to you and start asking you questions. They ask you, how did you get the funds? Evidence of source of income. They will just make the whole thing more complicated. And by the time you have to get back to them, come back, it's just going to be a lot of talk. But if they can't see when that huge money comes into their account, and then they just see, okay, there's a rollover, opening balance of this, and then it continues like that, then that makes sense. So now let me give the scenario for inside London. So let's say the student is going to University of West London, for instance, and then the tuition fee is 20,000. The student has been asked to pay, let's say 50%. Let's say the student was asked to pay 50% of 20,000. So that's 10,000. And then you have a balance of 10,000. The maintenance fee for London is 13,761. 13,761. So it means that the student will be required to have 23,761. That's the 50% balance plus the maintenance fee inside London. So that's 23,761. Don't forget when I was saying, when I was presenting initially, that I would, if you are saving in another currency outside pounds, I would advise that you have an additional 1,000 pounds just to cover for anything. People who saved the exact amount last month now, they are shortfall. They have like 500,000, 600,000 behind now because pound is getting higher. So as at that time was like 1,700, now it's going to 1,850 and all. So just have an additional 1,000 pounds to cover any of this inflation or fluctuation. Yeah. So I please confirm if that explains it, or if you want me to explain further. Please, if you understand the bank statement requirement, you can just do a thumbs up or something that just makes me understand that everybody understands it. Thank you.
This is understood. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
One more question, please, if you don't mind.
No, I don't.
When does the 28 days start counting? Can we print our statements now, or we have to wait for the A-level results to be out? Thank
No,
you.
you have to wait for one A-level results to be out. You have to wait for if the university requires you to send the bank statement, you send it at that time. And you also still have to wait for you to apply for a visa. So if the university requests for your bank statement now and you send it to them now, and then it takes them like 5 days to issue your CAS, for instance, 5 working days, you can still use that same statement you sent to them, right? Provided the money is still in the account, you can use that same statement, but it's just 5 days after. But if it's getting, that statement is actually valid for the next 31 days. But like I said, the money should still be in the account just in case UKBI wants to confirm again. So if you print your statement now and within the next 31 days, you're able to apply for visa, it's fine. But you can always get an updated statement much later.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please, if you have any more questions regarding the visa process, unconditional offer, if you're having issues with sending your documents, maybe you're unable to upload, please, that's why I'm here. You can reach out to me. I've sent a few messages on the group, so you can get my number from it. And if you want me to provide my number again, I'll be more than happy to do that. So if you have any issues sending your documents to the university, following up with the university, please do reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to do that. Like I said, that's why I'm here. I'm here for each student. So yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Christiana, for the explanation that you have made. Parents, before we round up this meeting, I would like to ask again if there's any further questions, or your students, if you have any further questions, please, you can ask right away. Okay, Ma, you have the mic.
Yes. Good morning, dear parents. Good morning, everyone, once again. Thank you again, Christiana. First of all, I want to thank the parents for making this kind of investments on their children. It's no mean feat. And for the children that are here, I just hope you appreciate the sacrifice that your parents are making to ensure that you get this kind of education. You must always remember whose child you are, and let it always ring in your heads that my parents sacrificed a lot for me to get here. I mean, in those days, you never used to hear this kind of huge sums of money being mentioned, but you know, we all know how much £1,000 is now. So I want to implore you, children, to please remember the sacrifices that your parents have made when you go out there, and just do the right thing. And let all the values that we've been trying to make you imbibe come to the fore, getting you to the end of this university journey. Parents, thank you again. But one thing I want to encourage parents to do, please, Christiana mentioned at the beginning, when you put the money there, please don't touch it for any reason. I had a situation last year where a parent touched the money, and because of that, that child could not get that visa. But thank God, you know, with the help of Nubi, we were able to get another admission for her. And now she's finished her first year. She went a bit later, but now she's done with her first year and she's going into her second year into the university of her choice. But where parents, when you put the money there, don't touch it for any reason. She said it earlier. She said, until the visa is issued, just forget it there. Leave it. You know, you don't want to make any mistakes, because the day you start counting the 20, the day the process moves forward and, you know, you need to take the next step is the day the 28 days starts counting. But, you know, do your best to make sure that once it's there, don't touch it. Just leave it. And God, who has brought you this far, will continue to provide so that you can meet the other needs that you have to meet. Thank you very much for the sacrifice that you've made, you are making for your children. May God reward you abundantly in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Christiana. Thank you, Mr. Bodri, for being here. Thanks.
Okay, sorry, there's something I remembered. So in addition to not touching the money, please don't make huge transaction that would make them to want to question the source of money. You know, I mentioned initially that if you are transacting that huge money, please just print the statement from the day after. Now, if after that time somebody sends you like 50 million naira again, then they may want to ask you why that money came into your account. It is one thing to be able to explain it that, oh, yes, I do business, this person, but the most important thing is that it's going to take time. It's going to take more time to process your application. So you don't even want that to happen. So you can still do your normal transactions, but please don't make the money drop below what you need. But you can still do your normal transaction in maybe 1 million and all, but don't just ensure that if there's any money that is huge coming in, please use your other account or use your business account. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Christiana, once again. Thank you, dear parent, for taking time to be on this meeting this morning. We want to believe that every explanation made this morning by Ms. Christiana have been helpful, and we trust God that our students, by the time the result is released, it's going to be a great result, and none of our students will have their admission, university application or admission they've received hindered in any way. So we thank you once again for taking time out to be on this meeting. However, if you still have any questions, or maybe later on, you can also reach out to Ms. Christiana. Like she said, our number is on that platform. So please feel free to reach out with any question you might have regarding the university application or visa application. Thank you once again. We'll be ending the meeting right now. Thank you very much. Do have a great weekend. Ms. Christiana, thank you once again.
You're welcome, sir. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.